Okay, good morning everybody. Good evening, good afternoon. Can everyone hear me? Good. How's everyone doing today? Sorry for the delay today because we had that daylight shift. I'm out in Singapore right now, and I was looking at it as the webinar is going to begin in an hour from now. So, emails started to pour in left and right. Some very nice, some very angry. That's okay. But we're here now. We're here, get ready to get started. So, how many of you guys are new here today? Oh wow, lots of new people in here today. Okay. How many of you guys were here on the last webinar? Okay. Okay. Let me ask you guys this thing here. I just want to get an idea of who's in the room here. Just if you guys can answer that poll for me. There we go. Okay. If you guys can let me know what level of, if you've taken any courses from us, if you're anywhere, if you are not in any of our courses, please put in as no vote. Okay, so we got a lot of MPA students in here, Mastering Price Action students, lots of students from the 4-course bundle, one student from the Elite. Okay, if we are both, each level, where is it? Ashish, each level, if you're in the next level, you have any previous level already. You cannot have the next level without a previous level, so. Okay, so good. It's good to see. So we got some regulars in here and we got some new people in here. So it's good to see everyone. And can you pop over to Johor Bahru, bordering Singapore, to meet Malaysians? I'm in Singapore for a few more days. I was here for a whole week, and I don't know if I'm still contemplating if I'm going to stay here longer. But I don't know if I'm going to be going to Malaysia. I might plan a trip to KL soon. So. That's on the list. So it's good to hear all of you guys. Let's get the webinar started here. Where's everyone from? And we'll get started here in a minute. The reason why we're still talking to each other, we're trying to give it a few more minutes for let everyone to come in. Okay, Mexico, Netherlands, India, London, San Francisco, Philippines, Lima, Peru, Dubai, Quebec, Jamaica, Guangzhou, Quebec City, Jakarta, Kenya, Earth, okay, UK, Haiti, Bangalore, Cayman, Australia, Miami, Australia, Hungary, Greece, Alaska. Fantastic, all around. Welcome. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing live analysis here today. Okay, in this live analysis, since a lot of you guys have seen my webinars before, okay, if any of you guys have not seen my webinars before, I'll have one of my teammates put in the YouTube link for our channel in the chat, so you guys can catch up with the education level and stuff like that. So we're going to go straight into analysis. Yes, everything is recorded here, but in this analysis, I want all of you guys to do your very best to try to participate. If you're not typing, that's okay. Try to verbalize it and say it out loud at behind your desk on what do you think is going to happen next, okay? And then I'll help you draw and everything like that, and we'll go on it together, yeah? Okay, so let's get started here. Chris, no, we're starting right now. Apparently it's 8:15 in New York, and we didn't know that. We thought it was going to be in another hour, the daylight shift stuff. So let's get started here. Here we go. Okay, let me clean all this up. This is my current trade I'm in. Let me remove this to a different chart. Okay, here we are. Okay, is my screen visible to everybody? Yeah? Fantastic. Oh, I just saw Armo needs a raise. I actually work for Armo. That guy is a big boss. Okay, well, will we get to see your room? Yeah, sure, sure. I mean, it's a big mess right now because we didn't have room service today. I've been in the room all day today, but let's do this. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Okay, so let's get into this. Let's start piece by piece. Okay, we're gonna go one at a time. We're gonna start with the euro. Boom. Okay, we're already 5 minutes into the webinar and we're starting a bit late, so that's not good always at all. I don't like keeping you guys waiting here. Let's get to the meat of the webinar. Okay, I'm gonna go in from the daily. Okay, we're gonna go in from the daily and we're gonna be watching it piece by piece. I'm gonna clean all this up. Okay, Euro USD daily charts. The flow of the market. Up, right? Let me move my chat box. Okay. Upflow. Euro CAD. Upflow. Euro Yen. Upflow, but it's in a pullback mode, so we're gonna label this sideways for now. Okay. Euro Aussie, same thing, a bit sideways we can say. Okay, Euro New Zealand, upflow, very clear. And Euro Pound seems to be a bit sideways, but overall uptrend. Okay, so we seem to have some strength coming into euro, because does everyone see that? Like across the board, majority of the charts say euro is gaining some momentum. Okay, now whatever that reason might be, you know, maybe there's a big boy in here watching these webinars and like, oh no, they're on to me. But euros are strong across the board right now. Okay, they're strong across the board and they're interested in buying more euros as possible. So that is what we call the biggest boy out there. Okay. EuroCAD, same thing. Sorry, EuroCAD's also in an uptrend. Okay, so that is the absolute biggest boy, right? That is something most people do not look at, and it's like a hidden big picture. So we have to use correlation to understand. You know, it's not just where my chart is going, but where is, you know, the world putting its focus on. Okay, so euro has a focus point from the world. Okay. Now, we're going to go into it piece by piece, all of these pieces. Okay. Now, there are several ways to trade, right? One of the ways to trade, here, let me open up my drawings for you guys. 1 second here. Okay, let me know when the whiteboard comes up for all of you guys. And I'm going to draw a small circle. Okay, good. Okay, so now let's take a look at this. There are several ways to trade. In an uptrend, okay, in an uptrend, you can have a pullback and then you can buy the uptrend. Okay? The other way to trade is you might be in a ranging market and you want to take trades from the upper end or lower end. Okay? And then the other type of trade is that same range tilted a bit and its channels. Correct? Okay, so far so good? Now, I'm going to teach you guys something before we get into live analysis, which is the main problem with most traders out there. Like the absolute #1 problem, okay, apart from money management. But if we put money management aside and it comes to how do you read the charts, there's one major problem. Is the industry is full of trades like this. Okay, down, down, down. What kind of market is this? Okay, I want all of you guys to monitor what's happening. Everyone's saying downtrend, right? What kind of market is this? What is happening right now? Still a downtrend. It's a pullback. What kind of market is this? Okay? Sideways, or still a downtrend. Possible turn. Okay. What kind of market is this? Okay. So, those of you guys who are typing versus those of you guys who are just watching and seeing how everyone is responding to this, do you notice when people turn to the upside, when people turn buyer, it's only when they see this. No one thinks of buys down here, right? Okay, and this is the common issue is because when the markets are moving, people like to join the flow because they look at chart as the chart is the first train and I want to get in on that train. And that's what we call participants, right? You don't want to participate, you want to anticipate. There you go. Thomas, it's the other way around. You want to anticipate, not participate. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at this one here. Okay? So if we have a pullback, in an uptrend, okay? This is what we call the trend is your friend, right? All of you guys heard that phrase, the trend is your friend? Yeah. And then we discussed this in the last webinar, but the trend is your friend, but what happens when you have something like this? You're like, well, is my trend down or is my trend up? Well, which one is it? Right? What kind of trend is this? And he's definitely not my friend if he's confusing me so much, right? So when you look at it like that, you have to understand it's only one answer. The biggest boy is your overall trend. Okay? That's your trend right there. Now, what's happening in this trend, it's basically you want to look at it as if, for example, if you like to buy, one of these examples I gave in my courses is, let's say, PlayStations, right? Everyone is buying a PlayStation. So the PlayStation boom started here. Okay? Armo, your mouse? Sorry. Okay, so the PlayStation boom started from here. And then it started to go up. iPhone 8 is coming out. It started to go up. Everyone's buying the PlayStation. Everyone's buying the PlayStation. Okay? Everyone's buying the PlayStation. Prices are rising and rising and rising and rising. But at the same time, you're like, hey, I want to buy a PlayStation 2. Right? Why not? Everyone's buying it. It's in the new fashion. It's the next in thing. I want to buy it too. But no one in their right mind says, you know what? Since the PlayStation right now is $1,000, I'm going to buy it when it's $1,500, and I'm going to turn it a profit by letting it go up to $2,000, and then I'm going to sell it. Does that make any sense to you? Do we do that in real life? No, we don't. We never do that in real life. That's the reason why a pullback is a proper trade. Limited edition. Yeah, so what we're doing is we're saying, okay, I get price is coming up. We get it. We want to be part of this trend. That's okay. We want to be part of this weird fashion. We'll get in on it. But we want to get a better price. We want to get a better price to join the original, fashion or trend or whatever you want to call it. Okay? Once prices come down a little bit, you're like, perfect. Then I want to buy it and get in on it with them. Okay? So that's the pullback trade. Okay. Everyone see this concept so far? So the trend is not this guy. The trend is the original movement. Okay. Now, we're going to use this concept to help you sharpen your eyes to look at the charts fast. Okay? We're going to help you look at the charts fast, and I want you to start to realize that this is how you scan the markets without automation. You just scan the markets with your naked eyes, going through it left to right. Okay, here we go. I'm going to share my screen this time. Okay. So, let's say we're doing the 2 time frame rule, okay, which we talk about in all of my courses, right? Shah, your question is, what is the best time frame to analyze it? It depends what you're trying to trade. If you're trying to trade 10 years from now, then you want to deal with the monthly and the yearly time frame. Okay, simple as that. If you want to trade today, then the daily and the weekly time frame has no value. Okay, so you want to think of it like that. It depends, when do you want to trade? Okay, so if we're talking about trends, so this is actually a good question. So if we're talking about a trend, let's say a trend is going upwards, right? Let's say this trend is going upwards. How many of you guys like to trade the same day you sit on your computer? Yeah, there's a bunch of you guys, right? So now think and try to answer this question. You see this trend going up on the daily chart, right? Everyone see that? That movement's going up. Correct? Now in this up movement, you're saying, I want a discount so I can buy it. And the market pulls in for a discount here. How many candles does it pull in for a discount? You know, 1 to 2, right? Now that's 2 days. That's 2 business days. That's not a trade you can do today. So is working with the daily gonna be helpful for you if you want to trade today? No, absolutely not. So you want to use this idea and logic to understand, I can actually analyze the chart on any time frame, including the 1 minute or the 1 tick time frame if you want it. Okay, you just need to understand what you're trying to do, because there's buyers and sellers all over the charts anywhere in the market. You just need to understand what is your market? What are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to trade 10 times per day? Then even the 1 hour chart is not enough. Okay, so looking at this based on the daily, the reason why we're doing a higher time frame here is because to give it enough time to sink in, rewatch these webinars, and then probably go in and prepare and see, well, can I pick up a trade this week, since we talked about it on Tuesday with Navin in a webinar. So give you a better idea of, wonder if I can get in on this, and how should I get in? It'll be good practice. Yeah? Okay, so we're looking at this as a overall uptrend. Okay? Adrian, Steph. Hey, Lucille's also working with Forex Watchers. Some of you guys might even start getting responses on the emails when you guys answer or get a email response. So yeah, we're constantly hiring. We're constantly, trying to get more and more people involved. But we only hire from within our students. We never hire from outside. CVs mean nothing to us. We only hire talent that we see is real. Okay? All right, so. All right, now, here we go. Let's go. Yeah. Okay, so we see the markets are in an uptrend here, right? And recently, what do we see here? This green candle, right? Any pullback coming in? No. So no need to waste time on this chart. We're just going to move on up to the next chart. Not on the daily chart. Oh, sorry. Okay, EuroCAD. Any pullback on EuroCAD? Nope, nothing to worry about there. Notice, okay, if I do this, okay, but EuroCAD does look nice. I'm sure it's a buy. Let me go into the 4 hours. Not enough pullback. I'm sure it's a buy. Let me go to the 1 hour. Oh, there's a pullback right there. You see, the thing about the markets is the market is just like Google. What you're looking for, it will show you. Okay, so you got to be very careful. If you keep looking for what you want to see, you're going to see it. It doesn't mean it's right, though. How many of you guys have this issue when you're like, oh man, I poked myself on the leg accidentally, so let me Google it. And Google, if you Google, I poked myself with a pencil, am I going to die? Well, Google will answer that yes, you have cancer, you're gonna die. But if you say I poked myself with a pencil, I am sure I'm going to survive. Well, you're gonna get every website telling you, oh, I got poked by a pencil all the time and I survived. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing that you want to understand, that markets will do the same thing. If you're looking for it, it's going to show it to you. Pencil propaganda. Okay, so do not switch time frames for the sake of looking for action. Okay, do not switch time frame for the sake of looking for action. Okay, Euro Yen. Now Euro Yen looks interesting. Euro Yen seems to be in an uptrend that seems to be pulling back. Okay, in an uptrend that seems to be pulling back. Now, if we're saying that this is the recent break, he's gone above this area. Okay, when he, okay, I'm going to take a screenshot so you guys can all see this. I'm going to make the screen big. Everyone can see it. I'm going to take a screenshot. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to draw a circle on the chart. Let me know when you see it. Fantastic, fantastic. Okay. All right. So, the market was going up, okay? Everyone's buying that PlayStation. It pulls back, okay? Some discount. We missed that buy. Fair enough. But when it broke, he broke the last resistance here. That's when discount started coming in, right? So when he started to break above that, this is the new highest point. And how do we know when the highest point sets in? Okay. You only know when the highest point sets in is if the next candle starts to go down. So you cannot know live. You cannot know live. Make sense? Does everyone understand that? So we can't just say this is the highest point right here because we don't know that. Okay. So you want to understand that concept. Now, that's the highest point it went. The one we drew up there on top. So here we go. Highest point, circled X. Since then, there was a pullback coming in. Boom. Pullback again, coming lower. And now we're watching this as, are we going to get any opportunities to buy? Now, remember just when the start of the webinar, I made you guys do an exercise with me on the whiteboard saying, is this a sell? Is this a buy? Is this a buy? And at what point you guys all said it's a buy? When it became obvious, right? Okay, keep that in mind because that is going to be your secret key to trading. That is your secret key to trading. It means when it becomes Mr. Hindsight stuff, that's when your trade is going to activate. Make sense? So we're gonna dig into this a little bit. Let's go into this. Now we're gonna go into one time frame lower because we're gonna see this in a microscopic level. Okay, we're gonna take this down one time frame. Here we go. Here we are on the 4 hours. Now, I'm gonna take another screenshot. Now, here we go. Everyone see the chart right here? I'm going to put a circle around the arrow. Everyone see the circle? Fantastic. Okay. The webinar is recorded, guys. So if there's any questions about, repetition or something like that, just rewatch it. And if you have any questions, just drop us an email at info@urbanforex and we'll be happy to assist you. But here we go. Let's take a look at this. So we know that this was a clear uptrend here. This was all one piece, right? Now, on the daily, if you're the daily trader, right? If you're the daily trader, you're the big boy for the people trading below you, which is on the 4 hours or the 1 hour, correct? Now, the problem is the people who trade below you, they never know about the universe above. Okay? Everyone likes to push the lines until they get in trouble with authority. It's the same in trading. Everyone likes to push the envelope until they get in trouble. Okay? So it's the same here. The markets were clearly in an uptrend on the daily, but now on the 4 hours, What would you see if you were trading as a buyer? Let's say you are Mr. Buyer. Okay, all of you guys are buyers. And now you're looking at this on the 4 hours and you're like, when this red candle pulls back here, are you freaking out? Are you like screaming around your house, like yelling on the top of your lungs? No, you feel good. You're like, it's okay. It's a little bit of a small loss. It's okay. Right? You're perfectly fine with that. But what happens when this buy starts to go up again? How do you feel? Yeah, it's good. Maybe I should call back the Ferrari dealership and tell them to, make an order for 2 cars instead of 1. You start feeling good. What happens when this goes down right here? Yeah, Kynamite, very good. Holy crap, that's also good. Okay, damn it. Yeah, my Ferrari is leaving. Okay, you see all the answers. All of you guys watch this. There's worry. What the hell? Oh my god. This is what we call stage 1 panic. Stage 1 panic. I'm really bad at drawing this. Okay, here we go. Stage 1 panic. What happens when this starts to go up a little bit more? Hope. Yes. Hope. Relief. Exactly. Okay, and what happens after this thing goes lower than the moment when you had hope? Okay. All right, now I want you guys to monitor this thing at one moment, okay? Now, if you can, just try to focus in very closely on what I'm about to say. When the turn happens, in the panic phase, most people are not doing anything. They're crossing their fingers. They don't do anything. They cross their fingers. Okay? Because they're not sure what to do with it. When the movement starts to go up from here, they're like, oh my god, there's some hope. Right? So movement comes down. There's some hope. And then when the movement goes down again, it's that second phase that's going to make them say, you know what, screw this. I'm going to close this, or I'm stopped out, or I'm going to turn into a seller. So, do people turn into a seller on the first push? Not on the first push. On the first push, there's so much emotions going in that they're panicking, and they're just crossing their fingers saying, come on, baby, come on, come on, come on. When there's a break in between, this break is what it takes to destroy that feeling. That break says, okay, it's working. And then when it goes lower, that's when the feeling gets overwhelmed. Okay? Does everyone understand this? It is not patterns. It is not a chart decision. It is how the human brain is working to trade. Does that make sense? So, I'm going to clear up the chart and I want you to tell me when this move down happened here, did anyone turn seller at on that red move? No, they're panic mode here. On this move, did anyone turn seller? Yeah, people are switching to the sell side now. Now, according to you, the big boy from the daily time frame, you're saying, hey man, I'm still a buyer. Now, for you to buy, if you want to buy that PlayStation, what do you need? You need someone to sell you the PlayStation. But if you are buying and everyone is buying, then who are you going to make money from? You need the opposite party to step in. So, whenever you see these sort of pullbacks, you know those are fake pullbacks. Those are not the pullbacks you need. That's just the buyers having hope. That is not the people turning into sellers. Does that make sense? Okay. So all of your action happens post this vertical line here. All action that you need to do is after that vertical line. Okay? And all of this stuff is taught in the MPA course. And we go into all of what we're talking about today is more in the when you get the MPA course, there's that little option to get the core basics. It's in there. It's in there. It's all in there. So in case you guys don't have, this is the core basics. Surprisingly, any emails that I normally get coming into our emails, and I'm reading through it, and I was like, this guy wants help with the most advanced things that the questions I get is the most advanced courses material out there. And I'm looking at it like, man, but you're missing just the very basics of how the market actually works. Right? Now, what I've showed this today, isn't that more understanding of, oh, I get how the markets move now? Doesn't that give you guys some aha moments like, oh shit, I've been doing this wrong this whole time? Now, you might have strategies. You might have indicators or whatnot that might say buy it here, and then buy it here, and then buy it here. But now you can know this buy won't work, this buy won't work, but this buy might work. You know what I mean? So if you're trying to do it the other way, and you're trying to know if your trading can work and when to follow your indicator or not to follow your indicator, that alone becomes very, very strong, doesn't it? Just knowing that little piece of information can change the way you trade. Okay, yeah, those of you who are asking about the mastering price section, we're going to go into that a little bit later. Just hold all your questions and stuff towards the end of the webinar. I'll introduce you guys to it a little bit. And I also want to ask some of you guys a favor today. So just hang in there towards the end if you guys don't mind. Okay, so shall we continue? So far so good? Yeah, so this Euro Yen looks quite interesting. Okay, I don't know if any of you guys were in my webinar, I think last week Wednesday, when I did it with FX Street in the premium webinars. We called out Euro USD's very big long. Okay, this movement that happened identical on Euro USD. Okay, because we called out from this pullback, we're like, that's it, that's going to be a buy. We called out that buy on Euro USD. It's identical. Okay, so we'll go into it. We'll go into the other pairs as well. Let's go. All right, piece by piece. Here we go. Next one. Okay, so back to the daily. Okay, here we are. So keep an eye out on Euro Yen, guys. Now, I'm not going to give you guys the answers on how to take the trade because that's not fair to some of my students. But what I am going to tell you is that pair is going to move. Okay, I can tell you that right now. That pair is going to move. And I want you to monitor how it moves and when it moves and try to reverse engineer it and figure out why did it move from where it did. Okay, I'm trying to assist you guys to think for yourselves more than looking for a pattern or a technique or a strategy or something like that. Okay, so think of it like that. Okay, let's move on to Euro Aussie. Yeah. Okay, here we are on Euro Aussie. Okay, this one is a bit sideways, so we're not going to call out on this one because this is not turning into a different time frame view. Okay, we're not going to get into that today. Here we go. Here we got Euro New Zealand. Now, Euro New Zealand here, let's take a look at this one. The buyers have been going up. Okay, everyone's buying that PlayStation or whatnot. Okay, and we're like, okay, give us a discount and we'll buy it. Shall we examine the first one here? And then we'll get into any movements after that. So let's take a look at this on the 4 hours. Knowing that we're in an uptrend, let's monitor this on the 4 hours. Okay, here we are on the 4 hours. I'm gonna zoom in a bit. Okay, I'm gonna take a screenshot for you guys. Okay, everyone see my circle on the arrow? Fantastic. So, in this major uptrend, what you're looking for is people to turn sellers. So, when this first chunk of red moves comes down, anyone freaking out? No. Here, when this chunk comes down, anyone freaking out? Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. What about when it pulls back a bit, little bit of hope, and then it comes lower than that? Yeah. People are turning sellers. Okay. Or stop losses are being activated. Now, do you know why these sells happen? Do you know why these sells happen? It's two things. One, anyone who's a buyer, okay, one thing is all the chasers, right? Remember I told you guys, are you a seller here? You know, in the first, whiteboard, people say no. Are you a seller here? Like, I'm not sure, maybe. Are you a seller here? Yes. Okay. Right? Everyone remember that from the whiteboard? Okay. So from here, all the sellers are activating. Okay. I'm going to clean this up again. Sorry, so you guys can see it. From here, all the sellers are activating. That's one area for sellers to jump in on. What happens to all the buyers who are now, in the wrong direction? What happens to them? Once they're coming down and then they have a stop loss, what happens? What's a stop loss? For a buy to get stopped out. Yeah, the buy becomes a sell. Those who get stopped out. Those who don't get stopped out and they close the position manually, that's also a sell. So we got massive amounts of sell orders coming in here. These are all sells. Okay? When a massive amount of sell orders are coming in, what we're looking for is, well, we get now they're sellers. Where's my big boy? Now, when you see a drastic movement like that, who can make a drastic movement like that? Can you and I make a movement like that? Absolutely not. That's a big boy right there. He comes in and he comes in hard. And you're like, perfect. So piece number one, I needed the sellers. And then the big boy just jumped in. We're like, this thing looks like it's ready to go. Okay? So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to go into any more details of that. I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah, and it builds a money spot and all that stuff. So all of you guys who are in the courses, you guys know, how this works from there on out. But the whole thing is now we're going down yet a second time. So what's going on here? He reached the recent high, could not go any higher, and he's coming down again. It's like, huh? Okay, and the big boy yet once again steps in very hard. Okay, so we're like, should we prepare to buy these again and trade it like a range? Now, remember in the beginning of the webinar, we talked about trend, range, and channel. But does a range not also behave like a trend sometimes? Because inside a range, there's a trend. Okay, so this is a range trade, which gives you a better outlook of where your targets are. But it also gives you an understanding of, hey, they're both buyers and sellers fighting this thing. But you know at what point to switch directions. Okay, so here's a range trade coming up. Okay, let's take a look at another chart. Let's take a look at Euro Pound. There we go. Let me remove all this. Go back to the daily. Euro Pound is also a bit sideways. We're still waiting for, this is a higher time frame movement now. So this is out. So the only few things that we're seeing is Euro New Zealand and Euro Yen. Okay, so something to show up for this week are these two pairs. Okay, so let's go into another group. Okay, what pairs do you guys like? Do you like New Zealand? Do you guys like Aussie, USD? Okay, USD. Let's take a look at USD. Okay, since many of you guys are typing USD. Now, here's the thing. Notice everyone is typing USD. A lot of you guys are typing USD. Why? Because something is happening in the market, right? Now that is emotion right there. And I'm going to show you right now, as a trader, when emotions are going crazy in the market, there is no trades for us. There is no trades for us. Take a look. Euro USD on the top left. Any pullback? No, nothing we can do. Pound USD here in the middle on the top. Any pullback? No. Aussie USD. Any discount? No. New Zealand USD, bottom left. Any discount? No. USD CAD. Okay, now it's inversed. The markets, we just missed the discount on this one. Okay, let's find out when this happened. Okay, there was a pullback that was coming in, which was, see, the whole US dollar is becoming weak across the board. Okay, so what we're looking at is, this is our big boy seller here, and we're looking at this on the 4 hours saying, show me when people turn the opposite direction. Let's go into here, and I'm going to take a screenshot for you guys. Oh, let me clean this up. Okay, make it bigger. Okay, let me take a screenshot here. Okay. Circle. Fantastic. Okay. So we know it's a major down move coming in from the daily. Okay. Of course, there's even a bigger major one going uptrend. We're not focusing on that. Okay. The flow from our big boy says sell. Okay. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to sell. Okay. If we're trying to sell and we're looking at this now on the 4 hours, we're looking at this as, okay, let's say all of you guys were sellers in this. All of you guys were sellers. Okay? Any of you guys turned buyer here or panicked about your sell? How about this thing here? Does that cause you guys to do anything? Okay, now notice now suddenly all of you guys are saying no, right? Compared to what you guys were thinking before. Okay, let me ask you guys one question now. With this new knowledge, let me ask you this. Does any of you guys know what this pattern is? What is that candle? Pin bar, hammer, exhaustion. What does that mean? What is the definition of an exhaustion? What is price supposed to do when it does that? It's supposed to go down. Yeah, it cannot go up anymore. But how is that possible? Price went higher. Because it has nothing to do with patterns. I'm telling you guys time and time again, it has nothing to do with patterns and everything to do about who's on the wrong side. That's all trading is. How else do you create a 5% from a 95% ratio? You think the 5% have a technique or a strategy or a single winning golden goose? No. They just know how people think. That's all it is. Make sense? So, now when we're looking at this now, so nothing is happening here. This thing goes a little bit higher, but we're not convinced yet. Okay? But then when this thing comes up a little bit, we're like, whoa, I bet people panicked when they saw that big move up. Oh yeah, they must have panicked. So this is what we call the panic phase. Now in the panic phase, what happens to people? Are they doing anything or are they just crossing fingers? Yeah, hoping. There you go. They're just hoping. They're just chilling. They're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And what happens when they see this down move come in again? Okay. Phew. Safe. Okay, and then when the move gets obliterated, goes really high, super fast, two green big bars, then the heart attack is permanent, right? It's the heart attack is here to stay. It's like, yeah, that's when people turn buyers. They're like, okay, now that people have turned buyers, where's my big boy? Come on, big boy. And then if you see this movement down as like, whoa, came in hard. Okay. Prepare for sells. Prepare for sells. Now notice how you're selling. For the 4-hour trader, imagine you're a 4-hour trader, right? Now you're a 4-hour trader. Now switch directions. Okay? You're a buyer. You're a buyer. When this, as a buyer, when this red pieces come down, are you worried? No. When this red comes down, yeah, you're worried. And then the whole thing comes down again, and you're like, oh my God, I need to turn seller. And it's the same story all over again. You see how late people get into trades? No one is anticipating this turn in the market. Does that make sense? Peter Kaser, yeah, daylight savings. I'm telling you, man, it even got me. If it wasn't for the emails pouring in from you guys that I need to be here, I would have started the webinar an hour late. Okay, but it's recorded. Everything it's recorded. We got 300 people in here. I'm sure there's a lot more trying to come in as we speak, but sorry about that for the delay today. Okay. All right. Okay, so hopefully this live analysis that we're doing is a mixture of live analysis and a little bit of education to give you guys a good understanding of, hey, that's pretty cool. These are just basics that I'm teaching you guys here. It's no techniques, no strategies, nothing like that. It's just basics, core basics. Okay. All right. And you'll realize from most people, even the basics are missing, and yet they're out to understand, trend line, MA, ADX strategies or something like that, all kinds of nuclear physics without even knowing basics. Okay, here we go. All right, let's take a look at this last pair. USD yen, daily charts. Okay, direction seems to be US dollar weak here also. Any pullback? If you look at the latest part of the market, any pullback? This is sellers, which is US dollar weak, but any pullback on that? No. So again, if you turn on the TV and the whole TV is talking about US dollar going nuts, you are responsible not to go nuts. You stay calm because there's nothing you can do at this stage. You have to wait for the nutty people to jump in on the nut information. Okay? I used to be one of those nutty people. You guys might have been those nutty people, but from here on out, no one's going to be that nut. Agreed? You have patience. Patience pays. It pays a lot of money for being patient. All right, so some of you guys had questions about the MPA. So MPA is the Mastering Price Action course. And what that is it's a 7-week course that I've basically reverse engineered my brain, and I put it out into a course and into small little bite-sized videos so you guys can consume the information, and it's released week after week after week. So it's something that I initially was doing for my one-on-one students back in the day. And we charged a lot of money for it. It's a very, very expensive course. So we were initially aiming to release it for $6,000, and then after I had my goal in October last year, where it's like, you know what, I'm gonna make Urban Forex the best educational company out there when it comes to Forex. So we priced it at $197, this course, and we made sure it's affordable by everybody, you know. So it's available to purchase if any of you guys are interested in getting the MPA course. I do recommend, if you do get the MPA course, also pick up the Core Basics course that comes with it. It's a small little $20 fee on top of that. But if this was very difficult for you guys, I do recommend to pick it up as well. The link is there on your screen, and I can open it up for you guys. There you go. Okay, let me go back. Now, for those of you guys who are already in the MPA course or have attended my webinars or something, is it okay if I ask you guys a favor? Are you guys will be willing to help me out here? I'm asking for a small favor. Okay. Now, generally, on my sorry, I should leave that link up for you guys for those who want to pick up the MPA. Generally, what it is you know, have you gone to, you know, websites and stuff like that where there's, you know, they're selling courses or whatever like that, and there's testimonials by people? Now, I'm always that person who's reading those testimonials and I'm like, I'm not sure if this is real or not because it just looks like text, right? So I'm one of those people. So and I don't want to do that on my website. I don't want to put in weird testimonials that are just, you know, pictures of people and in any random text like that. So what I did was I changed our testimonials into our Facebook review page. So if you guys don't mind, whenever you guys get a chance, can you guys leave me a review on our Facebook page? That is our link there, and I can open it up for you guys. So if you guys have, you know, whenever you guys get a chance, please leave me a review on Facebook. Again, these are for people who are in the Mastering Price Action course or have attended my webinars or stuff like that. So I'd like to keep it clear as possible. Those of you who don't have Facebook, that's okay. Again, it's just a little request I have from you guys. Okay. Manny, you're asking, where do I get the extra course for $20? Are you already in the Mastering Price Action course, Manny? Okay, if you're already in the Mastering Price Action course, then drop an email to info@urbanforex.com and they'll get it for you. They'll help you to pick it up. Okay. Ankur, Navin, what's the difference between others and my MPA? Okay, so here's the thing. You know, any other courses, I want you to always ask them, you know, there's many mentors out there. And the only thing that's going to make a mentor good is two things. One, the mentor must be able to trade. He must be able to trade himself or herself. If they're not even doing that, then it's just a waste of your time. But the second problem comes is if a mentor can trade, they might not know how to teach it. You see, like you got a lot of intelligent people coming onto TV as well sometimes. But when you're watching TV in the finance TVs, sometimes it's just overly complex and you don't understand what they're trying to say. It's because they already have so much information in their brain, they can't explain it forward to the next person without trying to let go of their ego and saying, well, this student doesn't have the knowledge as I do, so let me try to explain it the way he's going to understand and work from there. You know what I mean? So that's why, you know, that's what we're different, and that's where we're different, I guess. We try to understand, well, if I was in your shoes, how would I feel? Would I be confused? Would I have a lot of questions? And what's all that vocabulary and jargon? I have no idea sometimes when people, you know, when I was learning, I was throwing a whole bunch of vocabularies. I'm like, oh man, like just learning the vocabulary is going to take me a long time. Imagine learning the charts. Okay, so yeah, we got a lot of people in here who are actually MPA students. So for those of you who do not have the MPA, you obviously have live testimonials here as well, you know, who are in the course. They'll tell you how good it is. So Noor, Navin, I missed your last webinar. Whoa, sorry. Where is it? Sorry, there was a question by, okay, Noor. Hi Navin, I missed your last webinar and I'm still struggling to log in. Please help me, I'm one of the MPA students. Okay, Noor, just drop an email to info@urbanforex.com. They'll get you sorted instantly. I won't be able to help you right here, right now. So just drop an email and they'll assist you. Okay. I'm a student. It's awesome. Thank you, Chris. Enoch, yes, it was recorded. Yash, Navin, trading using indicators are helpful. You can use indicators if you want. I personally do not like them, if you want my opinion. I don't like them at all. But you can use the indicators. You just need to know when the indicators will fail. That's all. That's all. Indicators can be also useful. You just need to have that little understanding of it's going to work here, and then sometimes later, oh, it's not going to work here. What happens with most people, when the indicator does not work, they switch strategies. And that's going to keep on happening. If they've done it once, they're going to do it again. Okay? Sukhvinder, Naveen, I'm very new to this. Is MPA works for beginner? If you're absolute beginner to Forex, then maybe the MPA might not be for you. I'm just trying to be honest here. But if you know some information about Forex, like candlesticks, time frames, how to look at a chart, then I can assist you with my MPA course. But if you do not know anything about Forex, then it's going to be very difficult. And I recommend get some information, learn about Forex a little bit, and then come into the course. Okay. How's the MPA course different from Chris Capri course? I'm not sure how his course is, Osama. So I'm not sure if that's even a good course or not, or if he's a trader. I'm not sure who that person is. Pipaholic, do you have plans for what comes after the 4-course bundle? Yeah, Pipaholic, after the 4-course bundle, if you're in the 4-course bundle package, what's going to happen is you have access to the elite community if you haven't used that already. With the elite community, what we're doing here, let me show you. We're trading together. Okay, let me see if I can open it. Okay, I'm going to use Lucille's account here. Okay, can everyone see my screen? Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. The screen should be visible. Okay, so this is the elite community. So after your 4-course bundle, you have the ability to get access to this thing. Okay, generally what we used to do before, in Forex Watchers, we used to let people in, just anyone who had a passion to trade, we used to let them in. But now what we're doing is we're restricting access. It's because everyone's coming in, trying to talk about all sorts of things all over the place. So what we're doing now is you can only come into the elite community. This is where I actually personally trade myself. I have my trades in here, what I do, how I do it. In fact, there's a trade right now running on Aussie New Zealand, which I'm currently in myself. Let me see if I can open it up here. And I share my trades, I share my statements. It's not just, here Navin's posting a chart, but does he actually trade it? No, I'll show you statements as well. I have a separate account which I do for live trading just to share the statements on each trade that I do. Here's the trade right now, still running. That's where I've entered. Oh, actually, let me ask you guys this. Based on what you guys have learned today, shall we look at this trade that I'm doing right now and see if you guys know why I took this trade? You guys want to practice that? Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. It should be a good practice for you guys. Okay, let me start off from the higher time frame. Okay, let me remove this right here. We're going to go in a little bit longer because, sorry, I took some time to get the webinar started. So just hang in there. And again, I got some emails from you guys about those who are taking time off of work to be here. I really appreciate it, and I truly apologize for the webinar. It's 100% my fault. So I do take responsibility for that. So I'm sorry if we started the webinar late today. So we'll get it sorted for next time to make sure it doesn't happen. Okay, here we go. Now, sorry, here's the daily. Okay, so what's the trend of the PlayStations? Everyone's buying the PlayStation, right? Yeah. In this trend, I'm looking for a discount so I can buy it. Okay. I look at this on the 4 hours. I'm looking for my discount to come in. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. And then we're going to start talking about this. Okay, just to keep it simple, I'm not going to go into very much detail, but just to what have you guys have learned today? I'm literally hiding from my boss in the bathroom. Great, great. Well, that's a testimonial right there. I'm attending the conference rooms or webinars from the bathroom. Okay, so let's take a look at this one here. So you see the buyers right here moving up very, very aggressively, and we know from a higher time frame it's a buy, right? Okay, now when we see this move, when that red bars come in, anyone turning seller? No. What about here? Okay. We got some panics coming in, right? Anyone who was a buyer, they're panicking. But the moment we start to get a lower low, that's going to freak them out. That's when they're going to stop thinking, oh, it's not a buy, it must be a sell. Or, yeah, jump ship. Okay? Now, generally, my stop loss and my take profit would be, all the way out in this area. But I kept my take profit a little bit lower because I see something that this market still may turn around. But it doesn't change the fact that what I taught you guys today is still the way I trade. Okay. So yeah, this is a 1:2 2.6R, I think. 2.6 risk to reward, something like that. Let me show you. I think it's a 2. It's a 2.85 risk to reward. Yeah, 2.85. Okay, so basically what it is. Sorry, where'd it go? Did I remove it? Ah, here it is. So for those who had that question about what happens after the 4-course bundle, well, the 4-course bundle, the next step up is the elite community. And then in the elite community, I talk about advanced techniques such as something like what I just did today on that buy. So you have to be in the elite community for a certain period of time for me to see your progress. I keep track of pretty much everyone's progress. It's a very closely held knit community. I trade there. My senior traders, they trade there, and I monitor a lot of the other people when if they can post. We give posting rights only to people who've stayed there for some time and they know what to look for. So it's a very military style in there. We make sure everyone is hardcore practicing, learning. We actually get mad in there. You might think of, oh, Navin's this nice guy, he's always doing these wonderful webinars and stuff like that, but in the elite community I'm a little bit more rough because I really take it personally that every one of my students succeed. So I want this is the next phase after the 4-course bundle, because I think the knowledge you have after the 4-course, the MPA is the basics, which I think is a basic for me. For some people, that's like, wow, that's just going to get you profitable. And then the 4-course bundle, which is going into the whole next level, goes into more advanced techniques compared to the MPA. And then after the 4-course bundle, you have the elite community where you actually put your things into practice with me, and you watch me trade as well. You watch my senior traders trade as well. And then we go into advanced techniques and stuff like that. So we also hang out with a lot of the traders. I don't know if I have pictures on here. Recently, we went to Maldives. I have some of my students come. This is one of my students here in Singapore. So we actually hang out with people too. This is some fishes for one of my students. He has a fish pond. So, all right. So yeah, London. This is London right here. Some of the students and me, or some of the students without me in London. This is those same students out in Bangkok with us. Okay. Where is it? Let's see here. So yeah, I just want to show you guys. So it's not just an online thing. We actually catch up in person as well. So. Okay, so yeah, so we do a lot of these things. We catch up as well. Once a year or twice a year we have meetings. Just recently boys came down as well. for the recent meet in Bangkok. I think the next meet is going to be in Maldives. So, Fayaz, yeah, I've been to Maldives almost 3 times this year. I think I'll be there again very soon, in the next month or two. So, okay. Danny, you cannot purchase the 4-course bundle unless you've gone through the MPA course. And if you've already done the MPA course, then I recommend you get in touch with our team at info@urbanforex.com. Okay, so any major questions based on what we've learned today before we call it a day? Let me look at some of the questions you guys have. Did everyone understand what we talked about today? Everyone understand the concepts of when a buy is getting ready? Why do we need a pullback? Does everyone understand that? Because we can't just keep buying with the buyers. You see, like today, how everyone's reaction was US dollar, US dollar, US dollar. Well, we can't participate in the US dollar just because it's moving. That's not us, right? So we just have to stay away from stuff like that. We have to be careful. Let them do that. Let them play their games, and then we'll come in later and we'll take the bigger chunk. That's okay. Slow and steady. Okay, whoa, okay. When you window shop, what pairs do you use? Anthony, that's a correlation question. We'll have to do that in a correlation webinar. Kynamite, what do you think of trading futures like crude oil as opposed to product? Kynamite, I actually traded futures last year, and I actually used to trade the, you can trade S&P minis. I was trading the Hang Seng Index on the Hong Kong markets, and I was trading actually the 1 minute and the 15-second time frames. Because of the stop losses are guaranteed and stuff like that versus forex. Yeah, I actually have videos of that in the elite community. So, broker recommendation, Brian. I personally like interactive brokers. I really like them. I've seen many of my students sitting next to me get stopped out, and I'm still in the trade. Interactive brokers is good that way. They get you the best price and everything. I'm not affiliated or anything. So, that's a genuine review. I actually do really like them. So, is Forex.com good? That's Gain Capital, Anthony Kaiser. They're okay. They're okay. All the other brokers are okay. As long as you're not trading a smaller time frame, you should be okay. If you're trading a smaller time frame, then you need competitive brokers. But if you're not trading a smaller time frame, then it's okay. And anyways, for those of you guys, if you guys are not profitable yet, then one recommendation is do not trade smaller time frames. When I say smaller time frames, is below the 1 hour. Stay above the 1 hour. There is plenty of money to be made, even if you trade every day. There's plenty of money to be made. Just stay away from anything below the 1 hour. That's going to keep you afloat and profitable. Okay. Tim, what is your FB group? Here, I'm going to share it again here. Okay. Okay, there's the link right there. If you can just click on it and it'll open up for you. Okay. Is the MPA course live like this webinar? Sean, no, it's not live. It's recorded. So it's actually on demand. So that way you never have to wait for me to come online. You can watch it as you want on your schedule. And it's very well explained. But the Q&A is live on that. So if you have any questions, and you can answer it below, and one of my team members will get back to you very quickly. In fact, Armo is very fast. That guy is like Flash. He responds super fast. Okay. How to get MPA course access? Dr. Rangaswamy, you have the link on your screen. Here, I'll post it for you guys. Here. Okay. Yeah, Chris, that's because he doesn't sleep. Yeah, he doesn't sleep at all, I would say, and he gets more sleep than any of us, I think. But he is fast when it comes to answering questions and stuff like that. Okay. How many videos are there in the MPA? I'm not sure how many videos are there, but I know it's a 7-week course. So there's quite quite a bit of stuff in there. Gagandeep Singh, Navin, yesterday I was in a trade and the trade went in the opposite direction. I don't know how I was I don't know how I was telling myself that it was going to be a probe, and then it was a probe. Actually, then it went down and earned $300. Okay, that's good. Good to hear. Good. I'm glad. Okay, ZD, will MPA make you profitable? In my opinion, ZD, it is the only course on the planet that's going to turn you into the profit side. Now, how much profit you make depends on how much more education you build on top of that. But the absolute basic necessity in trading, I think, is the MPA course. That is the absolute basic requirement to understand how the markets move. BZ, any chance to travel to Australia? Yes, this year. No dates yet, but this year we'll be coming to Australia and New Zealand. Next webinar, Yash, is going to be in 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks I do a webinar. Osama coming to Dubai, no plans yet, but maybe sometimes this year, after summer, I would say. I'm not coming to Dubai during summer. Way too hot. Okay. Can you do a webinar on topic finding money flow? Emin, if you finding money flow, just if you go onto my YouTube channel, look into all the webinars on correlation. They actually touch base on money flow and stuff like that. Anything related to correlation, you'll see it will give you all the answers you need. Carl 3, why nothing below 1 hour trades? Highly risky, because not only do you have to trade and fight another trader to trade, but you also have to fight your broker. You also have to fight spread. There's too much to battle if it's anything below 1 hour. Okay? As a trader, you don't want to deal with all that. You just want to trade, Okay, ZD, how do you know the trend won't change? That's a very good question. And that's when what you're asking right now is the critical turning point for you. Because the more you trade like this, the more your brain's going to start asking questions, and the more you're going to develop as a trader. Okay? That's good. I want you to keep asking those questions. I can't get into that right now. It's a very big explanation for that. But that's a very, very good question. Okay? Yash, any tips on how to keep emotions? That's a very difficult one to answer as well. I actually have a whole course on emotions and how to build power mentally. But it's not something I can answer in one sentence. The only thing is, what you do in your real life is going to reflect in trading. That's a simple answer, I know, but you have to build it in a certain way in your day-to-day routine, where you start to see a change in your trading as well. Okay, Paul, MPA course is the key to your success. I completed the course. Okay, thank you for the review, Paul. Ankur, how can I contact you if I have any doubt? Naveen, please answer my question. Ankur, get in touch with info@urbanforex.com. If I'm online, I will answer it. If I'm not online, one of my team members will get back to you. Okay, Pankaj, is squirrel payment possible? No, I believe only credit cards and PayPal's are possible, and wire transfers, but no squirrel. I don't think I've heard of squirrel before. Okay, do you travel to Sri Lanka? No plans yet to Sri Lanka. Okay. Yeah, so this webinar was recorded, and in fact, the moment we're going to end this webinar, which is going to be in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to get you guys, for those of you guys who want to watch it immediately, I'm going to get you guys the recording from Adobe. But for those of you who want to watch it on YouTube, of course, it'll take a few days. But how many of you guys actually want the recording immediately? Okay, if you guys want the webinar immediately, then within the next 10 to 15 minutes, I'll send out the link to you guys, and you guys can watch it in this very same software. Okay. And then I'll give you guys an update once the one for YouTube is ready as well. Okay, so just be on the lookout for it. All right, guys. So that is it for today. Sorry again for the delay to start the webinar today. I thank you all for staying here. I love you all. And until next time, see you guys in 2 weeks or inside the Mastering Price Action course. I look forward to seeing you. And thank you all for those who have left reviews. Thank you so much. Cheers. Bye for now.